Hey, Siam here. It's been a while since I last emailed you, so I thought I'd make a little video because a lot has changed. So we'll talk about where we are in the crypto cycles and what's likely to happen. So first of all, let's do the macro metrics or the on-chain analytics, because it gives us a nice vague area of where we are, and then you can sort of weigh up all of them against each other. So this is the Bitcoin hash rate. So the black line is price. So as we can see from 2012 onwards, it's been slowly going up, or fastly going up. This is the log chart here, and the orange is the hash rate, so all the Bitcoin miners securing the network. And so regardless of bull or bear markets, hash rate is still in an exponential growth. So that is always bullish, because very recently we've had, if you look at the low of Bitcoin around 15k, hash rate has exploded since then, so price follows. Hash rate precedes price. That's one. Also, regardless of cycles, I keep track of the amount of addresses with more than 0 Bitcoin, so more than 0.1 Bitcoin, which actually, if Bitcoin is what, 29k times 0.01, so what is that? More than $290 worth. And you can see this orange line, it's always growing. Even in this bear market, you see that wallet addresses were growing. So this is good for network adoption. Realized price is another good one. So this basically shows us, in essence, the basic cost price of Bitcoin. Some people think it's the basic cost to mine Bitcoin. It's not quite right, but either way, it's a very good signal, because whenever it goes below, so the realized price is the orange, black is the current price. Whenever it goes below realized price, it's always short-lived. So if I get, I haven't got a pen here, but so every time it drops below, that is normally signaling the bottom of a bear market. So here in 2018, 19, 20, yeah, it's the COVID dip. And then here very briefly earlier this year, and so we're above that now, and I genuinely believe that was the low, and this is the beginning of the sort of or midway through the accumulation zone. Rodel ratios is another good one. These are good for showing the lows. So as you can see here, when it's in the green, this normally catches the low. Here's the low, here's the low. So yeah, we're out of that. So the bear market, in my opinion, has officially stopped. We're now almost there. In fact, if I fast forward to this chart, so this is a weekly logarithmic chart, and as you know, the only constant with Bitcoin are the 4-year cycles. So these vertical lines are the halvings. Sorry, the only constant are the halvings, the 4-year halvings. And what happens is Bitcoin rallies for a year and a bit, goes down for a year and a bit, sideways choppy accumulation zone for a year and a bit, into the halving, then boom. So that's the first cycle, then the second, then the third. And you can see that it always sings the same tune, doesn't it? And really, from about halfway through the accumulation zone, it actually starts rallying into it. So again, here, rallied, but then dropped a bit, but yeah. And this is where we are now. We are literally, I would say, bang in the middle of this sideways accumulation zone. I think we've actually got a little bit of a drop left, probably a 20-30% drop. So Bitcoin going from 29k down to 25 to 20. That wouldn't be surprising at all. That's pretty normal in most of the, we had it in every yellow zone. We've had that. We haven't quite had it yet. So yeah, I'm expecting maybe another move down. But either way, it's going to be something like this. So yes, the highs are diminishing in ROI. So we had almost a 10,000% growth from halving to high, then 3,000-ish, then 6. So let's just say we have 300-ish%. So that takes us anywhere from sort of 100k Bitcoin to let's say 200, and regardless of what happens, December 2025, I'm getting out of the market, because then we'll have another year and a bit of falling, which is what always happens. So I think this next one is probably going to be the last cycle. So let's then yes, Rodel ratio gets the lows. Rainbow, this is another way to look at it. Basically, whenever you're in the blue, buy Bitcoin or get in, and then sell when we're in the near the red. I got caught with my pants down because this was one of the things I was waiting. I was set on 100k topping because I thought once it gets into the red, I'll exit. But it reached 69k and then buggered off. So yeah, this is why you have to be very careful. So I think, you know, even if it gets to sort of the orange zone, we're still looking north of 100k. Pi cycle top, yeah, I don't really look at that one, but stocks to flow is one I do look at. And so yeah, again, this is very similar to the cycles I'm showing here. And yeah, it's basically whenever it's blue, it's time to effectively buy. And we're about to run up into the next cycle. And then the other thing that I do like looking at is this. So if we just clear everything, so this is the price of Bitcoin, and then you can look at, you know, average weekly ROI for traders, etc. So if you look at the monthly one, I think it's quite handy, because typically whenever you have massive losses on the monthly returns, that does normally signify lows of some sort. So big losses, low, big losses, low. Again, more smaller losses, some mini lows there, big loss. So it does catch the falls. So what we've seen is that we've had the big lows already, and or the big losses here. So I think we're on the way up. Quarterly gives you similar-ish sort of result, but yeah, we're nowhere near. So we had the big losses here for the quarterly losses, and when it starts getting, you know, great gains like these big old peaks here, that's when we need to get out. But yeah, so it's still very early days. Now I said that we are possibly looking for a bit of a dip. You know, if we zoom into where we are now, well, I think if it does dip, we can look at these liquidation levels. So this shows us that everyone that's going long at the moment has basically put most of their stop losses below 25k. So if it does drop down into this, it's most likely going to try and take that out. Yeah, so if I zoom in a bit, let's say to the 1 month time frame. Okay, so we've got a bit of liquidity up here, but most of it's down here at 24k. So I think there's a possibility that we could see a run down to 24 just to take this out, and then it should hopefully bugger off. And if you're curious, if you just run this, you can see every time basically the market loves running into the yellow, taking all those lick levels out and then running up into the next one. So every single time it's taking them out. So yeah, it's not that accurate, but it gives us a rough rule of thumb. Again, I put a bit too much weight into this for the low, because as we're dropping down, if I can really zoom in and out here, when we hit sort of 15k, there at the time there was a bit of a huge amount of lick levels at 12k, so I thought we would probably hit 12, but we pivoted at 15. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, so I think my best sort of forecast at the moment is that we are somewhere in this area. So whether you want to buy Bitcoin at 29k or 25 or whatever, anywhere around this zone, I think you're happy with. I personally not buying Bitcoin. I use it as a barometer. I buy other stuff, and there's a coin which I'm in at the moment which is absolutely booming. But then yeah, I think it'll be more of a sort of more something like that than that. So, but yeah, yeah, and if you want to have a chat about the realistic trader, so obviously we have a really in-depth course, and I share every single trade I place in real time. Yeah, just have a chat. We've got Geordie. You can book in a Zoom call with Geordie. I'm sure there'll be a link somewhere around here, and yeah, and he can give you the lowdown. Geordie's been an RT member for years now, so he'll give you the real shizzle. But yeah, anyway, hope this finds you well, and yeah, happy Satoshis.